Hi, my friends. Here with you, Cecilia, again, with another of. This is going to be a personal story. Back in the mid 70s, as a young woman, I was eager to immerse myself in the world of dog training. And I had the extraordinary opportunity to work with a seasoned trainer who owned one of the most prestigious dog training companies in Puerto Rico. It wasn't just any operation, it catered to elite clientele, including five-star companies, millionaires, CEOs, and even families requiring ultra bodyguard protection with dogs. It was my first experience with this type of training. This trainer was a legend in the field, someone who carried decades of knowledge and experience. Working under his guidance, it wasn't just a job. It was an educational in understanding dogs on a deeply instinctual level. I learned how to prepare dogs for a variety of roles, from personal and family protection to specialized tasks for high-profile individuals. But perhaps the most valuable lesson I learned during these years was about the journey from fight to flight, and how some of the most remarkable protection dogs came from the most surprising beginnings. It was very confusing for me. My first lesson in protection training was that one of my earliest and most memorable lessons came when I was tasked with helping evaluating potential candidates for protection work, whether it was a promising puppy or an older dog. I quickly became fascinated by identifying the traits that signaled that protection training, that protection potential for training. I remember being particularly intrigued by dogs that seemed to have the right signs. They would have the alertness and sharp reactions to their surroundings, high drive and intensity, confidence in their movements and demeanor. It was certain characteristics, but as the training began, I was sometimes disappointed when these same dogs would, in the face of confronting or stress, go into avoidance behaviors, retreating and hiding behind their handlers, or even freezing in fear. To my inexperienced eye, these reactions seemed like immediate disqualifiers. That's what I thought. That was they don't work. I vividly recall thinking this dog can't possibly be a good candidate for protection training. He's too timid, too unsure. And an eye-opening revelation. My trainer, however, saw something very different. He wasn't discouraged when the dog showed an initial flight response. In fact, he welcomed it. "This doesn't bother me," he used to tell me. He told me with complete confidence. He understood that the flight or fight instinct is a natural survival mechanism, and that many dogs need time and careful training to develop their confidence. The strongest dogs are those who overcome. It's the reality. What I learned during these years and what remains true today is that the journey from flight to fight often produces some of the best protection dogs. A dog that starts with a fight instinct from the beginning can sometimes act out of reactive aggression, which isn't always stable or reliable. In contrast, a dog that learns to overcome its flight instinct has experienced the growth and mental conditioning needed to handle high-stress situations. These dogs develop a kind of mental resilience that makes them ideal for the protection work. They're steady under pressure. They make calculating, deliberate responses instead of impulsive ones. They form a deep bond with their handler, relying on trust and teamwork to face challenges. A legacy of knowledge. This was what he left to me. He explained to me that far from being a weakness, a dog that starts with avoidance but learns to overcome it often becomes stronger, more reliable, and more confident than a dog that shows fight from the beginning. I said, wow, this was a revelation to me. I began to see the training process not as a fixed judgment of the dog's ability, but as a journey of development under the right circumstances. And with proper guidance, these initially timid dogs would often transform into incredible protection animals, ones that would stand their ground fearlessly, not out of reactive aggression, but out of a place of confidence and trust in their abilities. From flight to fight, the training process. This was something that I had to learn. As we work with these dogs, I began to witness firsthand the transformation that was possible. Here's how the process unfolded. On the initial assessment, when a dog shows flight or avoidance behavior, my trainer would evaluate whether it was due to fear, lack of experience, or simply uncertainty about the new situation. Dogs that showed a willingness to re-engage after showing encouragement were often excellent candidates for protection training. We would also have to consider the control exposure to stress. These dogs were never thrown into an overwhelming situation right away. Instead, they were introduced to small controlled stressors, a decoy moving in a non-threatening way, unusual sounds, or controlled confrontations. Over time, this experience helped the dogs understand they could face challenges without needing to retreat. Then it was the confidence building. It was the most critical part of the process, was building this dog trust on itself and on its handler. We did the positive reinforcements with the gradual exposure and clear, consistent guidance allowed the dog to develop the courage to stand his ground. Turning the corner. The turning point was always a thrilling moment. A dog that had once hidden behind his handler would suddenly step forward, meeting the decoy with a bark or standing still and alert. These moments were a testament to the power of patient, skilled training. When my trainer passed away, he left me a legacy of knowledge. He left me so much education that has shaped every aspect of my work with dogs when I used to train. His teaching went far beyond the technical skills of training. He taught me how to understand the heart and mindset of a dog. I've carried those lessons with me throughout my life, applying them to every dog I used to train. And I explain that to every person that I teach. The journey from flight to fight is more than just a training process. It's a testament to the incredible potential that lies within every dog, waiting to be unlocked with patience, understanding, and the right guidance. Why does this journey really matters? The journey from flight to fight is a powerful metaphor for growth, not just in dogs, but in all of us. It's a reminder that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to face fear and overcome it. I'm writing a blog that you will see under here, and you will learn about protection training. I hope you take away not just technical insights, but also an appreciation for the transformative power of good training, whether you're working with dogs or simply striving for personal growth. The lessons of overcoming fear and building confidence are universal. If you ever doubted about a dog or yourself because of an initial retreat, remember this. The strongest protectors are often those who have learned to face their fears and emerge on the other side, stronger than ever. This blog reflects my personal journey, my experiences, and the profound lessons I learned from one of the greatest trainers I ever knew. I hope it inspires you to see the incredible potential in every dog, and perhaps in yourself.